ready to get to the controversial questions? Or
There are comments.
I don't think why you guys think it's so controversial. I think it's just people don't know and they're curious, or they get information and it's the wrong information.
Well, there's one question that I feel.
it was just concerns.
Yeah.
right?
Well,
what was it in reference to? Which video?
it was the DUI.
Checkpoint. So DUI checkpoint.
Checkpoint.
Okay, so let's talk about DUI checkpoints first of all.
Yeah.
So the reason we do DUI checkpoints is because obviously we're looking for people driving under the influence. And one of the ways to do that is to do what's called a DUI checkpoint. What a DUI checkpoint is, we'll get some officers, we'll cone off an area that's safe, and then we use it's called a shoot method, and we'll pick 10 cars, 8 cars, 5 cars, whatever number we come up with.
Yeah.
And then we'll channel those 5 or 8 or 10 cars into the chute, then we'll let traffic go. So it's extremely random. So if you're driving, you may or may not, just depends. It's a numbers.
And you're not looking for erratic driving at all?
No, this is just random. They'll come into the chute, we'll stop them.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of laws and rules that we have to follow to do this DUI checkpoint. So when they come in there, the only thing we're looking for is that they have a driver's license. So in Florida, you're required to have a driver's license if you drive a car. So we will ask you for your driver's license. It should not take more than 30 seconds.
So they were. So I know some of the concerns were, oh, well, we don't have to show our license.
So under Florida law, yes. And let me put that out there right now because probably about 5 years ago, there was a group of people that would go around and they would say, I don't have to show you my license, or they would refuse to.
Are those the sovereign citizens?
Some were.
Right.
And we had some activists
Okay.
that were against putting down, showing their driver's license. So under Florida law, you have to actually give the officer your driver's license. You have to hand it to him. Not just show it to him, but you have to give it to him. That's under Florida law. So based on Florida law and we've been doing checkpoints for years. This is not something new. It's not something that we just made up.
Right.
There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of things that go into it. We just don't snap our fingers and do it. We don't randomly do it. We do a press release the day before. Everybody knows where it is. We put signs up.
Yep.
There's actually signs there. And again, this doesn't come up with these controversies and in these, comments. One of the things that we have to do is there has to be a way out. So if you're coming up to a DUI checkpoint, you're going to see a sign that says DUI checkpoint ahead. By law, we have to have a road that you can turn off. And you don't even have to go in. You can turn off. So we obviously comply. In this particular case, it was on Southwest 8th Street and about 44th Avenue. So there's a street right before, and we had signs up, and people were free to turn off. Then we're not going to chase them down or go after them or anything. It's a very random thing. So the cars will come in, we'll ask for your driver's license, and you show your driver's license, no signs of impairment, because we're looking for signs of impairment. And if we don't see any, then you're free to leave. That's it. It shouldn't take more than 30 seconds.
Right.
You're in and out. And we try to get it to flow. Obviously, people have to look for their driver's license. Oh, it's in the trunk. Oh, it's, whatever. So that kind of hampers it a little bit. But, after a little bit, they kind of get flowing pretty well.
Under this stop, right? There was another concern about what's your probable cause. Somebody said reasonable suspicion, but they said what's your probable cause for the stop. They meant, I don't know what they meant, but they wrote reasonable suspicion, but we need probable cause to stop you. What's your probable cause to stop?
So again, you're not being stopped. This is a DUI checkpoint. You're coming in to the checkpoint. You're randomly selected, and all we're asking you for is to see your driver's license. It's not a traffic stop. So there's two different things there. A traffic stop is you commit a violation, and then I pull you over. You ran the red light. You have a brake light out.
There's a violation.
Seatbelt. There's a violation.
Right. Yeah.
In this case, there is no violation. Under the law, we can stop you to check for your driver's license during a DUI checkpoint. That's all been fought in court, lawyers, and all that good stuff. So again, the controversy is that people just don't know, and that's why this podcast is great.
Yeah.
Because we can put the information out there. They know what to expect. They know why we're there. And if they have questions, they can call us.
Because the video also the person that was talking?
That would be Officer Pepe Pastor.
Oh.
Officer of the year 2022. Shout out to Pepe.
Correct.
He also mentions about taillights, and a lot of the comments are talking about that as well.
That was a zero tolerance night because there was a saturation and everything going.
So let's talk about that. And again, people just don't know. What zero tolerance means is basically if you come into the DUI checkpoint and you come in and we ask for your driver's license and there's an officer there and he sees that your taillight is out, he'll ask you to pull over.
Yeah.
Which is probable cause, perfectly legal under the law.
Yeah.
So an officer saw you, your taillight's out. Now it goes from just a DUI checkpoint where you're driving through and showing your driver's license to an actual traffic stop. So it's two different things. Mm-hmm. He has probable cause to stop you for the taillight. Now you get pulled over for the taillight. This is where zero tolerance comes in. This is where the law comes in. We have to treat everybody exactly the same. So we do zero tolerance. So if you have a taillight out, you're going to get a ticket for a taillight. Now, just because you got a ticket for taillight doesn't mean points on your driver's license and, the world's going to end and your insurance is going to go through the roof. Most of the time, you'll get what's called a fix-it ticket.
Yep.
And that means just fix your taillight, show proof to the court, and they'll dismiss the ticket.
Yeah.
It's just us letting you know your taillight's out and making you have to fix it.
Forcing you to get it fixed.
Correct. That's all it is. The reason we do zero tolerance and the reason we do that is so we treat everybody the same. We don't want somebody to come through and he didn't get a ticket, but I got 2 tickets.
Right. Then you get accused of selective enforcement.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that would be selective enforcement. And we don't do that. We just keep it the same.
Gotcha.
So if you come through and there's something wrong with your car and we see it, you're going to get a ticket. Depending on what it is. If you don't have your driver's license, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, if you're on your phone. So we look for everything, obviously. And during a DUI checkpoint or DUI saturation, it will be zero tolerance because we want everybody to be treated the same. And we keep it that way on purpose, and it's based on the law.
Did you enjoy that Miami Police Podcast clip? I did too. If you want to see the full episode, go over to the Miami Police Podcast YouTube channel and watch it there. And while you're there, click subscribe.